Switchback Stadium. Cheers, my brother.
Cheers, man.
Dude, but like I've noticed, in the 2 years that we're coming on living here now, Tiff and I collectively have been pulled over one time.
And that's even impressive.
Yeah,
I've only
and
been
she
over...
was speeding in a school zone.
Yeah.
They got her.
Okay, I got pulled over in a construction zone.
Dude,
only time I've ever been pulled over in my life.
They get you out here is school zones,
Construction zones.
If you're not, and you can go 10 over, man, anywhere you need to be. It's fucking nuts.
And they don't care about 10 over.
They don't
at all.
And if you're not going 10 over, you got fucking somebody's grandma driving by, you flipping you the bird, yelling all kinds of shit out the window, like, fucking hurry up, motherfucker.
They are probably driving a Subaru then.
Yeah. Or an Outlander.
I can see an Outlander too.
Dude, I didn't even know.
It is impressive to me ever since I moved to Florida at the beginning of this year. I have been able to very much detail like the specific cars out in Florida versus Colorado Springs. Completely different ball game.
Dude, I didn't even know what an Outlander was. Dude,
before you
Outlander?
moved here?
Yeah, I never heard of one.
I'm guessing you learned really quickly, huh?
Because Idaho, we just call them trucks. That's just a truck, dude. Like, we all got a truck. That's a truck. This is my truck. Your truck. Mom's truck. Grandpa's truck. That's her truck over there. And
yeah, man, we can haul something with it. It's a truck.
Yeah, shit, dude. Go bring your truck around here. It's a 4-door, but we'll call it a truck because we don't know how to say sedan. They just know how to say truck. Like, my grandpa used to bring your truck around. I'm like, Grandpa, it's a fucking 4-door Saturn, dude. What the fuck you mean truck?
Yeah, front wheel drive too, of course.
Dude, oh yeah, for sure. Front wheel drive, missing a front fender, like.
So some guy at Budget this weekend, he tried to rent me a front wheel drive car, and I just could not have that. Like, I was like, brother, I'm sorry, but I'm finally back in Colorado. I know I now have like a Florida ID and everything, but I still have a clipped one from Denver. Please just give me something that's 4-wheel drive at least.
I mean, honestly, dude, I always had, excuse me, I've driven a front wheel drive car in the snow a lot. They're fun. They're really fun. It's not what you think. Have you driven one ever in the snow?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're so fun to drift.
Yeah, because you can just whip it. You can just whip that tail around like no tomorrow, right?
The car that I had in Boise, 4-door 1996 Saturn SL1, all white with a front fender on the right side that was a different color, right? Mm-hmm. My mom at the time had bought this car from a guy that she met at. She was a teller at the bank. The guy came in one day and was a tow truck driver, a repo guy, something where he got these cars on a really good deal. And he comes in and is like, dude, I got this Saturn, blah, 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 $500 for the car. It's got like 100,000 miles on it. Some tweaker in Oregon had it. So it's kind of trashed. But if you want to take it, man, I'm just fucking, here you go, $500,
Yeah.
So I buy this car, go halvesies with my parents, $250 and $250. This is my first car ever.
Good deal right there.
Oh, sweet deal, dude.
You can't pass that up.
This was an awesome car. I put this motherfucking car through so much hell. Did you know Saturn SL1 can off-road?
I'm guessing you learned pretty quickly.
With 5 people in it on the way up to the fucking mountain to try to snowboard. Actually, no, we weren't snowboarding. We were. It was our senior camping trip.
All right. Now you have to tell us all. What upgrades did you put on it?
I didn't. Other than the 12-inch subs in the trunk.
All right. Which is necessary as a 16-year-old.
You don't gotta have the nicest car, but you gotta have the loudest.
Exactly.
It's not gotta be, and I don't mean the exhaust. Don't make it loud exhaust, please. God, don't be that guy.
Casey, and that's what's awesome is we grew up on other sides of like the whole country, but we both knew you have to have subs. You have to have a nice speaker system and just be able to bump that. Well, like it's not the nicest car.
It wasn't, but it was so reliable. That thing. The only problem I had with that car, I remember they had this. The problem was it couldn't pass emissions. That's it. But in Idaho, that wasn't a big deal because all I had to do was write a letter to the emissions board and let them know that no matter what I did or what I paid for this car, it's going to cost more than what I paid to have the emissions to state standards. And so in Idaho, if the car costs less than the cost to get it emissions ready, they give that's what they did. They call it totaled, and they give it an emissions pass.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to get the emissions done on that thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, how fucking cool is that? I don't got to pay emissions. I get like 30 miles to the gallon in gas. I got 12-inch subs. This thing is fucking sweet, dude. And I would take it up to Bogus and just go completely. I almost died in that car like 4 times.
Well, for your first car, I feel like they always push their first car to the limits a little bit. Like they don't tell anyone about it. They don't tell their parents. They don't tell sometimes even their friends about it because it gets a little dicey, but they push their first car. I know I did. I know you did too.
My parents are probably listening to this like, what the fuck?
you
did that to that car?
Literally, I'm like, yeah, I took it off-roading
quite a few times. But the main time that really stood out, actually, I think I did this a few times, honestly, was we would go to campouts and bonfires. Idaho had bonfires. That's just what you did.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
There was bonfires and there was parties. There's so many house parties in Idaho. Like, dude, that is all there is to do. People just go to house parties. Like Halloween in Idaho, Boise, holy fucking shit.
Was it getting spooky out there or what?
Dude, Halloween in Idaho is next level. It's so fucking cool. Boise State throws the fuck down on Idaho.
All right.
In Idaho. Like, so you can go anywhere within a couple mile radius of campus and every 3 houses is just filled to the brim with people. And like the front door is wide open, the back door is wide open, and every house is shoulder to shoulder in Boise on Halloween. It's crazy.
Wow.
You can literally just drive around and just party hop and not know whose house it is.
Yeah,
you just walk right into these people's houses, just like everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, see, Colorado Springs just simply not the same at all.
It's not like that at all.
Not at all. I feel like it's getting to that point, but you know, it will probably be at least another 10 years.
No, but Boise
before it's like that. But like they have like great, you know, fraternities and sororities and like everyone I feel like gets along there. But like it's just not as far as, you know, population goes, it's just
this is bigger. This is bigger here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think what it is the lack of what there is to do in Boise. There's nothing to do other than the college. That's the only sport. That's the only like they have the Boise Hawks, minor league baseball team. They have the Idaho Steelheads, minor league hockey team, and they have Boise State college football.
Yeah, that is pretty brim.
Yeah.
Which is why, you know, at the same time they're professional partiers. Some of them at least.
Exactly. I mean, you know? it's a dangerous talent in a sense like that. I'm glad I moved away because being a bartender, living downtown, just being involved in the scene down there, it was just so thick. You know, there's just everybody's got nothing else to do other than get fucked up.
So what was like your favorite activity to do out there?
Snowboard, for sure. Snowboard. Like there was a lot to do. But I grew up where snowboarding wasn't really available at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, your phone was making it go.
The
radio waves. Boise has a huge outdoor scene. Ginormous. Absolutely. Rock climbing, kayaking, floating the river. There's a reservoir. It's a lake town, so there's a reservoir 15 minutes away. And there's also from my front door that I lived at in high school with my parents to the ski lift was, granted, I drove like a maniac. About 50 minutes, 45 on the dot. I timed it one day. I got from my front door to boots on, riding up the ski lift 45 minutes.
It was always a challenge for me too. Going from Colorado Springs up to Breckenridge to be the first one on the chairlift. It was like we would leave at tell everyone 6, be at their house by 6:10, and then just book it as fast as we could up to the base, get on that mountain, and just look at the time and be like, all right, we weren't first, but we were third chair. I'll take it.
That's tight. I'm so excited to hit snow out here. Like, I've lived here 2 years, 3 years, whatever fucking how long I've lived here. I don't even remember now. But snow, dude, I haven't had a chance to hit it yet. And unfortunately, I got rid of my gear before I moved, and the gear that I got rid of was mainly my snowboard. And I think I still... No, I don't have my boots. I have my helmet, I have my pants, I have my jackets. I don't have my boots, and I don't have my board no more, or gloves, or gogs. But I mean, that's all replaceable. That's all stuff you can get. I'm glad I have because I have the pants I have, dude. They're original Burton pants from like 1990 or something like that.
Oh, the retros,
dude. They're so sick. They were one of my older brother's friends left them at our crib when we were when I was like 10 years old. And I snagged them. And they're so fucking ugly, dude. That's the funny thing. Like, there was a solid 10 years where I looked like a goofball wearing these goddamn pants. And then, like, finally they got back in style. And I was like, fuck all of you.
Everyone's just on your dick about, like, where'd you get those at?
Yeah, they're tight now. I mean, because they're still kind of fugly, bro. Like, they're checkered orange, bro. Like, they're orange checkered pants.
Hey, brother, that's in style now, though.
It is.
You can go out if you're here's what I'll say about,
and they're baggy. They're baggy. They're orange checkered. They're Burtons, dude. Like, they're sick as fuck.
Yeah. They gotta be like down and dirty. Like where like you get seen on the mountain and you're like, okay, that guy's actually pretty good. Like, just from his style, he's pretty good. I will say you can wear whatever you want on the mountain. You just got to be able to back it up, like a little, depending on what you're wearing.
The day I wore no helmet and pit vipers on the mountain was the day I shattered my shoulder. I was like, you fucking prick. You deserved that.
And that will happen to you too.
I was ripping tequila shots on the backside of the mountain, dude. Me and my buddy Johnny, we were snowboarding for a couple hours that day already. And it was the last run on the backside. And they have a teepee bar on the backside in Boise. And you have to take like 3 lifts to get to this backside bar, dude. It's super tight. And so they're shutting things down. It's like 3:00. We're done with day. No, it's probably like closer to 2:00 or so. And I think last run on the backside is like 4:00. And I remember getting to the lift. I'm pretty fucked up at this time. I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm feeling good. And I would have been fine if it wasn't for the fact that day that my the board that I normally ride with had started delaminating, so I had to switch to my backup board. And it's a smaller size, so it was super touchy, bro. Super fucking touchy. I had no business riding the way that I was on that board that day.
You were shredding the shit out of it.
I was shredding the fuck out of it, and I'm just like, I'm going down, having a blast, and I'm feeling the tequila.
Music on 10, huh?
Music's on point. View on point, because right as I'm getting down to this part, it just drops off, and you can see all of Idaho. Just for miles. And
like
you're on
lakes and everything.
Dude, no, just because you're on top of the clouds. You're on top of the clouds. You're over the cloud line. And so you just see this fucking just ocean of the clouds for fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's the most beautiful thing you ever seen. Right? I'm just shredding. I'm feeling the tequila. Some dude rides by me. He's like, nice pits, bro. Right? And I fall so fucking hard after catching an edge, dude. I'm just like, and went right onto my left shoulder. Hard as a motherfucker onto a patch of ice, too. And, like, I was drunk enough to not feel it, too. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that doesn't feel good. That
By the time you got to the bottom, huh? How'd you feel?
Well, so the guy that complimented my pits stops. And the funny thing about this is right before I'm, like, riding and just in fucking cloud nine, bro. The guy on the lift chair is like, "Hey, last one down, don't fall."
Oh.
No one's coming down behind you. I was like, "Bet, bro, no worries." Fucking jinx me with that little gem right there. Complete jinx me. And I was like,
so he stopped for you though, right?
the guy that fucking complimented my pit vipers was just so happened to be kind of riding behind me and seen me just fucking nail it. And he was like, "Dude, are you all right?" And he's like, "You got pits on, you're fine." It's literally what he said. And I was like, "No, I'm fucking chilling, bro. It's all good." And then I fell again after riding it out. I was like, "All right, I'm fine. Whatever. Fuck it."
Right on the other shoulder, huh?
On the same one.
Oh,
On the
God.
same one.
Yeah, I had to.
And so I ended up having to ride the rest of that mountain down. Take 2 more lifts. And I skied to my, I did the drop-in ski where you fucking park at the top and you ski down to the bottom so you get a free ride before you even have to buy your lift.
Yeah, but then you gotta like find a ride up to the top, right?
No, the way they have theirs set up is if you take a certain lift, you can actually ride to your fucking car.
Oh, okay.
And it's set up pretty cool. And it's like an upper, there's multiple parking lots and then it's called the upper parking lot.
Yeah.
And so there's one chair you can take that'll actually, if you take a cat track, it takes you straight to that parking lot. It's perfect. Or you can drop in, you know. And so I had to do 1 more or 2 more lifts and that cat track still with a shattered fucking shoulder, dude. And I actually went to the doctor. It was shattered. Literally, the ball of my shoulder. They could not see it on an
That's
x-ray.
unfortunate.
Yeah, no, they were like, "Dude, there's nothing wrong. You're fine." And I was like, "Really? It fucking hurts like hell." They're like, "No, you're good. But we'll look at you an MRI, though. Let's see what the MRI says."
Oh, man.
And the MRI, they're like, "Dude, so we couldn't find a break because there was
chunks.
Bro, the whole thing was crushed. Like, that was powdered, bro. Like, I was like, "So I can't go back up this month?" Like, and he's like, "Dude, if you fall again, like, the ligament will go with the bone. You got to just fucking chill, dude." I was like, "All right, fine. I guess."
Yeah, that is no bueno whatsoever. When I broke my leg, I wasn't able to ride anymore, but yeah, it was when I was like trying to go into the park in Breckenridge, man, just caught a weird edge and everything. Couldn't even stand up on it again. And yeah, it didn't hurt at first. Like, you know, for the first 5 minutes, I was like, well, I bet I could ride down. Definitely.
And all of a sudden, it was like, no.
Yeah, definitely couldn't. Definitely couldn't. The freaking, you know, like the fun little sled that comes down behind the ski patrol. Where they like carry it, where they
the snowmobile sled.
Yeah, the Jerry box. yeah, it's the Jerry box. Yeah. And they're just pizzing all the way down, you know.
Did you have to ride in the Jerry box?
Ooh, I did. Unfortunately. Oh, and man, like it was embarrassing. They give you what's nice about it though is they give you this little towel to like cover up in, and I feel like it's not even to keep you warm. It's just to like protect you from your friends taking like pictures of you riding down in the Jerry box, which is so nice of them. They do you a favor by providing.
It's a shame blanket.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
The shame blanket.
Man.
Dude, honestly, I've had some friends work ski patrol. My really good friend Camden, he didn't work speed control. Ski patrol.
Speedometer.
He didn't work on ski patrol, but what he did do was he was an instructor on the mountain.
Yeah.
That shit's fun. You just get to teach kids how to snowboard all day and get paid and then get a free season pass for it. It's like, dude, sign me the fuck up. Let's go.
And you're kind of forgetting like the 100 days you get on the mountain.
That
like,
too. Like 100 plus.
Yeah.
You're going to work to literally just get off of work and go shred.
Granted, you are teaching some, you know.
Oh, fuck the kids. It's about the shredding, man.
You just got to get them going on what you're going down.
Fuck them kids. I'm not here to teach. Got fired after the first week.
Which is why I'm going to put my kids in like the most advanced class, because those advanced classes, the instructor, he's like, all right, you guys are just going to follow me down whatever I want to do. And then all of us are kind of forced to go with him. And granted, half of us get beat up a little bit, but then we come out better than we ever were. And at the end of the day, yeah, some of us might be crying, but
Tell you what.
Fuck them ones.
I taught myself how to snowboard after about 10 years or so of skiing.
Yeah.
I went up. I got a season pass from my uncle, my late uncle, who's now dead. He's an awesome dude. He literally was a ski bum. Like, lived on the mountain 300 days out of the year. Worked for the guy who owned the mountain down in Utah. I think in Baldy. Is Baldy in Utah? I think it is. Is that my phone that keeps going off? Yeah.
I got mine on vibrate.
That was my fault. I'm a butthole.
It's all good.
Oh, I think it's time for shot. All right, Alex. What are we drinking?
There we go.
What are we drinking?
All right, well, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, you know, I just had to get something in the mountains. Mountain liquor stores, they take advantage. Let's just say that.
Are we doing half and half here? Half mix and half tequila?
Yeah, I would say like a good, not even a half for me. Like a fourth right there. Even too much.
I got a little overzealous, didn't I? There you go, buddy. Okay, so remember how, remember when we were hanging out, probably second to last time before you left, and we couldn't make it to the switchbacks game, or you went and I couldn't come with the switchbacks game?
Yeah.
I had never known what the switchbacks were, where their stadium was, who they were. And then I got a job at Trainwreck right across the way from Switchback Stadium. Cheers, my brother.
Cheers, bro.
And I'm a lot more butthurt now that I didn't go that day. That stadium's sweet. I had no idea where you guys were going. I was like, with Switchbacks? The fuck is that?
That was a very exciting time, and frankly, it's kind of crazy too. So I first heard about the switchbacks when, like, as soon as I graduated college, that's when they were like building their new stadium and everything downtown. Well, I like reached out to some people at my college, UCCS, like about it, and I got connected to this one guy who was basically like the provider of like the season tickets. Well, I got a few. That's when like Sean and I went, and it's actually like super cool. Like it's like the local soccer team, which I've never really been into soccer at all.
That's
like,
why I was confused when you said you were going to a soccer game at first. At the time, I was like, who the fuck just goes to a soccer game? And then, like, I was like, you guys are just into soccer like that?
It's so uncalled for, frankly. Like for me, like doing that, I was like, you know, I'll be able to give these out to some like nice real estate investors of mine and you know, really like kind of tee them up. And it is sweet. You know, you do show up for like one of the games or any of the games, really. You show up, they have free drinks for you, free food, like pretty good seats. And so, you know, one of the few times that I was able to go, I just took old Shawnee Boy with me and we just got after it. Just simply deleted some bratwurst and some IPAs.
I'll tell you what, man. Sean is a gem.
He is. He is.
Gentleman is the reason I know you, first of all. The reason me and you are still, well, I mean, we all met that night, but Sean was like the initial, like, dude, let's fucking go chill. Like,
absolutely. And that is Sean to a T for you. Sean Harkoff. He's the absolute boy. He makes connections like none other. I swear to God, Casey, I'll go to a concert with him. And like, there's been multiple concerts where it'll just be him and I who like just go to it, or, you know, we just go do something together. Like we were roommates for 5 years or something. We'll just go do something. And at the end of the night, he'll come back with like 5 friends. And I'm like, how the fuck did you meet them? He's like, well, he's on the UCCS soccer team. I'm like, how'd you figure that out? He was like, by just talking to him.
Just chit chat, you know.
Sean is awesome. Yeah.
So the switchbacks and Sean, we love Sean. He's actually coming on. We were gonna try to get him when he came out. So I don't know when he's actually planning on making that happen again.
I mean, we ought to just FaceTime the boy.
Yeah, that's so. I've done that in the past. It actually works fairly well to do the over the phones.
Audio is just not good, huh?
What I would do is I set up a whole separate mic for the phone, and I use like a pencil mic that's designed to like go into a guitar, so it kind of picks up the frequency a little better than actually, you know, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I use a pencil mic because I think it works better.
Sometimes you just gotta try to put reason behind it.
Sometimes you just gotta shut yourself the fuck up.
I'll do that too. I'll try to get way too in deep on a topic that I think I know a lot about, and frankly, I just don't. And it just ruins my whole conversation. I'm like, damn, that sucked.
I thought I was smart, but you know, at least I'm gonna put a nail in that one and just say to stop.
No, like I feel like that comes with maturity, where like as you get older, you just learn how to just shut up and be like, I actually don't know.
Oh, one thing, dude, I used to never really listen to the show a lot after we would do it, especially because I hate the sound of my own voice. I used to really not like listening to myself. A lot of people feel that way. It's just I would do the editing and the post-production to focus on my guest mainly, and I would tune myself out. Mm-hmm. You know, I would never actually try to make myself sound better, and I would never watch myself after. Let's say I'd record with a friend for 2 hours. I would do it in one run. I would run through it and make sure there was no major errors in sound and quality. But I would generally keep like a mental track of how the conversation went. And then after the fact, be like, okay, that conversation went pretty well. There was no real major fucking stupid times or hiccups or nothing. So I'm just going to post it, you know?
Well, see, and I think like that's like the whole cool thing about, you know, starting anything really is that like whether it's a business or a podcast or a lemonade stand or, you know, even like your like college, whatever you're trying to like major in college is like, that's the cool part is like learning all of the fuck ups like along the way. Cause you're going to do that no matter what you start. Right.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's cool to like learn the fuck ups and like listen and hear back and like see how you were acting on camera. Cause I guarantee you, Casey, like, yeah, there's probably scenes in here where we're just like, no, we definitely don't want that. because we just like look stupid, but like, that's the fun part is, you know, everyone like you're going to make mistakes if you're trying to build something that's like worthy of your time doing. So the mistakes are worth making because then you like, you know, understand what you did wrong and you'll never make that mistake again. And then you can grow it to, you know, the next level. And like I said, that's not just for a podcast or a business. That's really for like anything in life.
Stand
you know?
up for fucking skateboarding, for fucking snowboarding, for skydiving, for
granted skydiving.
You don't want to you gotta get certified for just doing a jump. Don't just go and do your first jump.
You don't want to make a mistake first time you go skydiving.
There are rules for skydiving on that for a reason, guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I had an awesome podcast that gives me something to point out real quick. Mr. O'Shea Abney, one of my most favorite friends in my life. He is one of the most funnest guests I've ever had on here by far. So fun.
Nice.
And that's because he, with being one of my closest friends in life, also took this cool route of adulthood of skydiving and base jumping daily. And since
well, that's a moral boost every morning.
dude, this guy, it's nuts to me. It's so cool. It is so cool. He really does live life on another level of some than anybody I've ever met, and it's so cool to watch what he's doing right now, especially now that it's been almost 2 years since he did actually come on the podcast, and he came on and he spoke about what he would be doing, and that's he was skydiving at this place in Caldwell, Idaho, which was a skydiving. And there was this video of him skydiving out of the plane and then eating a fucking chicken wing while he was doing it. And it was so fun. Just the whole fucking video. He ate the whole chicken wing, fucking tossed it, and he was like, wee. It was just so cool, dude. The whole thing, everything about it. And since he's been doing that, he moved to this place in Idaho, Twin Falls. And Twin Falls, Idaho is the only place in the Northwest where it's legal to base jump just off the bridge. There's this huge canyon. And you can legally just go off it without a permit, anything. You can just go jump all fucking day.
Yeah, damn, sounds
Check
like,
me on that factual info, please. Do not just take my word for it, but I'm almost positive it's the only canyon in all of the Northwest where it's legal to just base jump like that. Everywhere else you need to, like the Grand Canyon, all that stuff, you go through special hoops and loops and permits and whatnot, which is understandable.
I hate to sound like a Debbie Downer, but kind of sounds like they're trying to
save lives.
They're trying to lower their population a little bit. That something like that, I could see it being totally fun, but obviously like permits, like in doing it with like professionals multiple times, that's just like required. Like Casey, have you ever been skydiving?
No. Fuck no.
You gotta.
I would love to, but I haven't.
You have to go with the professional sometime. It's one of those things where, and you can look this up too, where there's like articles where the first time you go skydiving, and this really falls for like multiple times if you go skydiving, but even if you're attached to someone, when you like jump out of the plane and like skydive with like a professional on your back and everything, like you're like not like emotions, but like you're what's it called? Adrenaline. Your adrenaline is so high and just so wired for so long that like when you like land and everything, you were absolutely tired by the end of the day. Like you were shot. You were going home and you were napping after just jumping out of a plane. Like that adrenaline kicks up so much where it is like, it's honestly crazy.
I feel like I get a similar rush when snowboarding. Similar, not the same, but to me, I'm a very physically fit dude. And even if I just get a couple runs in, I'm fucking like not as physically beat as there's days where I hit as many runs as I can the whole day until they kick you off. You know,
yeah.
There's those days where you're like, holy fuck, I can't even fuck, my body is butter.
Yeah.
You know, but the adrenaline high you get, I notice makes you sick almost. And I say sick because, like, are you an adrenaline junkie?
Yes. I've done multiple things where, you know.
Okay. So
you got to kind of keep from the parents a little bit.
Fair enough. So I have extremely high blood pressure. Extremely high blood pressure, which kicks my adrenaline up sometimes. You know, like when my blood pressure is high, I'll feel like, whoa, and I'll feel like I'll get so fucking amped up sometimes that I feel sick. Like, wait a minute, fuck, you gotta call me. Like, dude, I gotta get amped, you know? And like my body afterwards, like after that adrenaline starts to wear off and your body's just like, cause like, dude, your body really just tenses up. You get like, you feel super strength. Adrenaline's fucking nuts. It's really crazy. But it comes at a price. You know, like I'm somebody, like I said, high blood pressure. I'm always just fucking high on adrenaline. It's awesome. I run on pure adrenaline and rage. But after you feel that, it's like, fuck, dude, like
I'm done for.
I need a nap. You know?
I could not agree with you more on that. Yeah. But I do think everyone should skydive at least once in their life because that is by far one of the most adrenaline driven activities I've ever done in my life. And I think everyone should at least experience that level of adrenaline. You know what I mean?
That was such an ugly fail. Did you see that?
Oh, that clipped right there. It's still cherry though. Huh.
So I just was trying to stealthily pass my joint, and I was very ugly about nicking my microphone and spraying my beautiful soundboard with beautiful ash. Beautiful ash.
It's all white. Maybe a little gray.
So to bring it back a little bit, you asked me earlier what some fun things in Boise were to do. And I think I kind of mainly said snowboarding and the reservoir, you know, and in Idaho, like I said, it's parties and things like that. But really, like, everybody out there just goes camping. It is as mountainous of a community as it gets.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate to say that breed is very much dwindling. It's depleting. You know, it's going away. And that's because it's a sanctuary town, kind of like how Colorado Springs is. There's a lot of transplants here. There's a lot of people who move from out of state, out of country.
A lot of new vans coming into town.
Right.
Which are great. Like, you know, Colorado, and I feel like Idaho too has a lot of great like camping grounds. Like which ones have you been to out there?
So in Idaho, there's this town called McCall. And it's about 4 to 3.5 hours north of Boise. And a lot of people, they don't really know what Boise is. It's about, I would say, 45 minutes from the border of Oregon. And if you're trying to get to the coast, 12 hours from the border of the coast right there, you know, in Oregon. So a lot of people don't even know where Idaho is, what it is, and anything. It's the state directly north of Utah and directly east of Oregon. Okay, and there's a lot of rednecks and a lot of corn. Okay, and it's funny because when you would think, right, potatoes, Idaho potatoes, like that's what everybody asks me, like, oh, how's Potatoville? Like,
it's the corn there, huh?
But it's corn, dude. In the years that I have lived there, I had never seen a potato farm.
Wow.
10 years, dude.
Well, it sounds like we need to find a corn supplier out there and get a nice package coming here to Colorado.
But to be fair, potato plants, do you know what a potato plant looks like?
Yeah, of course I do. I tried growing them in Florida, but did not turn out
Is it
too
just
well.
like a bush? I'm an avid botanist. I'm huge on growing. I actually have a cultivation license to grow 46 plants.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, like potatoes, like grown like the ground.
I know that. So they're a root-based plant.
Right.
So, but I also know that they come above ground. Their stems and their leaves and all that, they still need something, right? Or am I wrong?
No, I believe you're right. I mean, and I'm not going to get on here and sound like the potato expert.
But from my potato experience,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a potato expert over here. I'm just gonna shut this down right now. I can tell you how habaneros grow. Let me tell you this story. Yeah. Switching from potatoes to habaneros. Me and my girl, we got this one habanero plant down in Naples, Florida. Went ahead and planted it. And I had gotten a jalapeno plant like a few months before, and that thing was doing well. And so I like plucked the first jalapeno, and like we both
habanero or jalapeno?
Jalapeno. Okay. And we both like chopped it up and like tried it, but I plucked it. and I tried it first. And, you know, that's monumental when you try the first, like, fruit of your labor.
Yes.
Well, I told my girlfriend, she wanted to pluck the jalapeno one, but I was like, no, this is mine. I'm sorry. You can pluck the habanero one. Well, the habanero one became good to pluck and everything, so she plucked it, and she felt so great about it.
Are you killing a bird?
No, this is like a habanero plant.
I know, but who plucks a habanero plant?
Yeah, a psycho, huh?
I've just never heard. I've never heard pluck used in something other than plucking the feathers of a bird.
Okay, so what if I picked?
Yeah, but I could be just being an asshole, and that could be a great synonym.
See, okay. I'll do this. Let me agree with you on that.
You know what? Your imagery there was fantastic. I'm an asshole.
Like if you pick a fruit, but dealing with these like high intensity peppers, you pluck them. If you're picking a blueberry or a strawberry, that's fine. But you are damn well plucking a habanero pepper. You're plucking.
See, I needed the explanation of imagery there. There was a reason why you chose that word.
Yes,
and I needed that
because here's what comes next: is I tried the jalapeno at first. My girlfriend, it's finally time for her to pluck the habanero. So she plucks it, chops like just 2 little slices. I'm like, all right, like time for us to try them. I didn't know how hot they were going to be. We both try one. And for the next 30 minutes, we are considering going to the hospital. We are just
from trying it.
Oh, I probably drank a half a gallon of milk. Oh yeah, that was just wretched of us to do.
I remember a very good friend of mine, Joshua Grad. Is his name? He's a gentleman from Boise, Idaho. Or actually, he lives in. I want to say it's more of Idaho. Idaho City. Idaho City, which is about 45 minutes east of Boise. He comes down one night and he has a huge garden in his cabin, town, home, whatever you want to call it. It's a cabin in the middle of the nowhere, but he has a great garden. And he brings me this pepper from his garden. And the choice of words that came out of his mouth when he brings me this pepper to me were so interesting. He said, "You would eat this pepper if you're actually my friend." And it was a Carolina Reaper. Right? And he was totally kidding. Totally kidding. But I'm not the kind of person that takes challenging my friendship lightly. At all. Like, I didn't skip a beat. Dude, he says it and I grab the pepper whole and I eat it and swallow it one bite. Not even didn't even skip a fucking beat.
Okay, so before you explain the rest, are you still friends to this day?
Yeah.
All right.
God damn right.
That better be the spiciest friendship alive, right there.
Let me hit that.
Yeah.
So, a little backstory on Joshua Grad and I. This is a story I don't know if it's made it onto this podcast yet, but that's all right. So Joshua and I, we came across paths through a very good friend group of mine. We were all out boating one day. We rented a boat to just have a blast at the Boise Reservoir, and we all pitched in. And at this time, I was newly single, so I was just ready to party, have a blast, get out there. Mm-hmm. And on this boat was pretty much my immediate friend group and their girlfriends, and the boys, as you would say. And this gentleman, Josh. Had this very unique vibe to him that I've never experience. I was like, this guy's a trip. Rock and roll kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Like old school. He was a couple years, probably like 5-10 years older than our crew, you know, but he just had this like
moonwalking, everything like
just
that.
rock star party
Yeah.
kind of vibe, dude. You know, just an
like,
interesting character.
Like trying to be mullet, sort of.
Not necessarily. But I mean, the way that I'm going to explain him is just unique. You know,
I like that.
very unique person.
Yeah.
And he immediately made an impression to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be friends with this dude. Right. And the reservoir in Boise was right by his cabin. Okay. He's like, guys, I got this place right up here. Come hang out. Come chill. You know, so we all went over to that cabin after and we had a blast. We partied. Right. And me and Josh befriend each other and we get really, really close. And I go up to his cabin all the time and go hang out with him and party and help him with his, you know, there's lots of stuff to do. And one thing you might not know about me is I used to be a contractor. So I would do the carpet in one of his things, you know, one of his bedrooms and help him build shit, stuff like that. And he in return, he was a very knowledgeable person. He would teach me a lot about starting a business. This was a long time ago when I first started my first business and stuff. And because of him, you know, he helped me start my first company, my first LLC.
Yeah.
And so
that's awesome.
Right. And because of that, I have lots of respect for this guy.
Yeah.
So Josh and I hung out at this point for like a year. And he starts seeing someone who reaches out to me and pays me to remodel his bathroom while they're out of town in Vegas, right? And I was a tile installer working at a tile company as the warranty division manager. So what I would do all day is I would go around, I would help people, I wouldn't help people, I would go to clients' houses that had our company install the tile in their home, and they're usually brand new construction builds. And from there, what I would do is I would handle whatever warranty things that we covered. You know, we're not going to come give you a new shower, but I'm going to come take care of it.
Right.
You know, so I would remove tiles, repair tiles, do whatever necessary to get us to not have to replace the shower.
Yeah.
You know, that was my job. And working at this place, at the same time, I would be driving up to his house 40 minutes out of town to do the tile at night and then drive back downtown into town to work 7 a.m. the next day. And I was doing this for like a week. And I tore out his fiberglass shower that he had and re-drywalled it, waterproofed it, did everything for a full tile shower rebuild, right? In Idaho, it gets fucking cold. Idaho City, it gets really cold. And I remember having my wet saw outside the first couple nights that I was working to the point where I had to stop working because my saw froze. It was negative 10 degrees outside.
Oh, God.
And I was cutting tile with bare hands, fucking going back in and going back out, going back in and going back out until my saw froze shut. It stopped. The rail, the guide platform that sit the tile on it and it has the water bed under it, froze and would no longer move because there was ice fucking crystals on it and shit. And I was like, all right, time to call it a night, right?
Yeah.
So the next night, I set my saw up in his barn and his workshop barn. And he didn't build this place; he bought it. So the guy that built it did not have any sort of siding, proper insulation. It was basically a plywood structure. Okay, this plywood structure had a wood stove. So it was negative 10 degrees out. I fired up the wood stove. I had my saw in there, you know. Worked again until about 4 a.m. 4 a.m. comes around. I got to go to work the next morning. It's time to wrap it up. So I clean up, go to bed, call it a night, check the surrounding area to clean all my tile shit up, you know, and I go turn off the barn light. This barn light was wired in a way that when you turn the lights off, the ceiling fan, and it was a 2-story fucking shop barn. It was huge, like 2 or 3 story structure. This thing was way bigger than it should be. And the fans would kick on, okay? So I go to bed, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, Idaho. There's not a property around me for an acre or two, right? I hear glass break. It wakes me up. I'm asleep. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is breaking in? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Right? And I had my dog, my big old Great Pyrenees. He was with me out there too.
Yeah.
He woke up and was like, what the fuck? Right? Dude, and I run down the stairs and I'm in a second story and I just see hellfire, flames, lighting up the entire living room of his fucking, dude, not even kidding, lighting up his whole fucking living room of his house. And I go out there, I'm like, no fucking way. His whole entire barn is not only in like starting to go up in flames, but like, dude, I shit
Like
you not.
blowing up.
Dude, blowing out the windows from the flames of the heat. That's what woke me up, was the sound of the glass windows on the shop fucking breaking from the glass.
My God.
And I would go out there and I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way.
Yeah, no,
and
thank you.
And mind you not, I'm in the middle of the forest.
Yeah. No, that had to be scary as shit, huh?
First thing that runs through my head, dude, I just started a fucking forest fire. I was freaking out, dude. I was like, oh my God.
You just see a big ass explosion go off
Dude,
right where you just
No,
were.
and so literally, this structure, like I said, was 2 stories. And it was surrounded by giant forest trees. So the tree immediately next to it catches a blaze. 40-foot fucking hellfire. Right? Mm-hmm. I run inside. I grab a fucking fire extinguisher. Right? It's gonna help so much.
Do your part. Do your part.
And I'm like, no, dude, my tile saw. Brand fucking new $2,000 tile saw that I just bought like a week before. This dude was in the fucking middle of the hellfire. So I'm trying to go get it out. And like, I fucking opened the door and let all the fucking flame breathe, not knowing, and make the fire even bigger and try to fucking get my tile saw, burn my whole left side of my arm, right?
Oh,
and
man.
so I run back inside and I go get the stuff of mine that I have, like my clothes, and fucking go throw it in the away. So I had something to wear. I was fucking wearing nothing, dude. And so straight naked. And at this point, I'm like, holy shit. And I get a phone and I don't know my homie's address. I just know how to get there. It's in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So I call and I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't know my address. Like, dude, there's a fucking fire. I don't know where I am.
You're like,
Get
trace
here,
me back.
Figure it out, dude. Like, this is about all I can fucking do. I gotta get out there, start hosing shit down, dude. Like, and I'm like, wait a minute, 69 Wilderness Way. That's the address. Get the fuck out here, dude. Literally. And so I'm in my chonies fucking hosing down the side of his house, trying to keep his house from going on fire. And funny thing is, he's like, dude, you should have just let my house burn, insurance. And I was like, literally hosing it down, right? And he's not even there, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like freaking out, waiting for the fire department. Nobody showed up. I'm literally the only fucking thing against this 40 fucking foot flame, right? And so it gets to the point where I'm just like, dude, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna die. Like, this shit's real. Like, this is gonna fucking, wow. All right. So I'm trying to get my dog to fucking like get down the stairs. He's got like this giant drop off that you have to like go past the flames to get to his car. And I had borrowed his car to get out there, or my van or something. Like my van was down in the city and I was using his car. And so I had to try to get my dog away from these flames. And my dog jumped like a 15-foot ledge to get away from these flames and get into the back of the car. And his car was melted, bro. The front end of his car was completely fucking melted. And I was in the front seat of it trying to get like it to start and get my dog into it, right? And he's got a 35-foot driveway that goes straight down. And so I finally get my dog into the back of this fucking car, back up down his driveway with nothing but my chonies and his jacket on. Yeah, and I get back and I get down and I finally like, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Dude, I'm sitting there just like in shock and I call him, right? And he's in Vegas.
he's at the blackjack table.
Yeah,
he's BJing it up.
Yeah, he's having a blast, dude. Like, literally, I call him like, so your barn, and dude, at this point, the entire structure was in full flames, complete. Like, and I mean, this thing was a 2-car garage, 2-story shop. It was huge. Full, the entire thing, not even a lick of the building was not in flame. And the flames are, like I said, 40 feet up, catching the fucking trees on fire. No fire department had showed up. I'm just sitting there in the back of his car, and I'm like, yeah.
You're fucked, bro.
I was just like, so your barn is on fire. And he didn't even know I was there.
Oh, God.
It's his girlfriend, like I said, bro, paid me to do this for a surprise for him while he was out of town.
Yeah, that was a damn good surprise you gave him.
Yeah,
Man.
he doesn't even know that I'm there. He thought he left his house by itself. I'm like, hey, I'm at your house and it's burning down. And he's like, literally, I shit you not. Okay.
Damn.
All right. And I was like, really? And I was like, that's all you're going to say? And he's like, yeah, just talk to the cops when they get there in the morning. See when I get back. I was like,
wow.
This man's going to murder me.
Wow.
This man's going to murder me, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, that was way too calm of a reaction. But we worked it out. You know, he's like I said, still to this day, really good friend of mine. Clearly.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, like, that's what makes great friends right there, you know? That's really is.
That's also what makes great insurance claims.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Dude, I need a drink after telling that story. Oh,
yeah, bro.
Lord. What do you think of that?
Dude, I love that. I love that. Absolutely. I do got to get going here pretty soon.
Oh, right on, brother. So, how long you got?
Like 10 minutes.
Whoa, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, can we give me 20?
Yeah. I can push it to 20.
Word. Deal.
I can't take too many more shots though.
You're not taking one.
All right.
You're taking your margarita. Good. I'll do a shot for me.
All right, there we go. Yeah, dude.
Sorry,
Dude,
my story took so much time there, man. Oh my goodness.
No, dude, no, it's totally fine. But I mean, dude, it just feels good to be back in the Springs, like from freaking like Florida. The weather here is just so spot on. Like, I know it rains. I know some days, like, you know, it's a little cold. But damn, like, it is so hot down there in Florida. Like, it blows my mind, honestly.
Is it breaking 100? Like still?
Not on the radar, but it feels like over 100. Just with like the humidity.
Okay, so I feel like the heat up here has a bit of kind of, I want to say it more of an intensity because of the closeness to the sun that it has. If that makes sense.
Well, see, and then I was talking to my boss about that this weekend, and it was funny because he laughed at me. I was like, well, I feel like I get burnt easier here in Colorado because I'm a mile high versus like, you know, sea level. And then he just starts laughing at me. He's like, so do you really think you being like 10,000 feet closer to the sun when it's like 55 million miles away makes a difference? And I was like,
the fuck yeah, it does.
I was like, well, kind of. Yeah, I do think that.
My sunburns sure as shit do.
Yeah. My forehead's over here just fucking peeling like a motherfucker. I'm glad you set up the lighting perfectly so you can't really see the
Your sunburn.
yeah, I appreciate that.
All right. So I've only got a couple minutes left with you here.
Yeah.
And, you know, the first thing I want to do, say thank you.
Hey, bro.
For coming on. Like, this is
No, thank you.
dope.
Yeah, of course, bro.
And also give you a couple minutes to kind of, you know, talk about yourself a little bit because, you know, I talked about me. You talked about Colorado Springs. You know, we haven't really had a chance to talk about you. Real quick, Who are you? What is your name? Tell me about you. What do you like to do?
Yeah. Well, Alex Ollila, man, thank you, Casey, for having me on and everything. I met Casey a few years ago, frankly, at a bar as soon as you guys moved here. I know we talked about that earlier, but yeah, no, I went to college here in Colorado Springs and
Where?
UCCS. Graduated from there. Soon before I graduated, got into the real estate field and bought my first investment property. basically moved down to Florida after that. And really just been working on a few different real estate companies as well as property management. And then growing up, I did have like a side business, world famous pickle vodka. If you guys want to look them up, they're blowing up right now. I was a marketing director in that company when they were first starting out.
World famous pickle vodka.
World famous pickle vodka. Yeah, it was created here in Denver and is local to Denver. Right now we're in, I think, 25 different states. So hopefully everyone listening to this can be able to find themselves a bottle. If not, I'll send Casey a link. He can post it and whatnot.
I will do that.
Yeah. And then, so that was really like marketing and everything. Right now I'm down in Naples, Florida, doing investment, real estate, as well as residential in the area. I've been doing real estate deals, frankly, across the country. We did one in Utah, like 2 months ago that all of our investors made like about $50K on. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, and frankly, yeah, they did invest a lot and everything, but it's one of those things where I am, very grateful for what I've been able to learn in real estate. And I'm one of those people where I'm willing to teach anyone about it. So, if anyone wants to learn about like investing in real estate, in Casey, I do have a few different potential deals to show you and everything, but that's kind of like what I specialize in. So willing to take the time to get anyone involved who is really like looking at that.
Do you have a handle on social media for your professional real estate work that you do, that if somebody were to want to reach out to you, that's where they would find you?
Yeah. I mean, I would say just like my personal Instagram, it's AOLLILA17. It's not one of those things where I'm not like Alex sells real estate out of here. Alex sells Naples, Florida. No, I am a very personal person. I like actually like working with people who are going to be persistent business. I'm not like the type to just be a one and done transaction sort of guy. Like I will only consider working with people where it's like a long-term relationship. So, and it's one of those things where that's how you really find the actual like good investment deals as far as like real estate goes. Right. You can't just like, stumble upon them in a matter of like looking on the internet for like a few hours. Right.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the opportunity to kind of remind people, the listeners, if they, you happen to stumble upon the Youngblood podcast, when we talked earlier before the show, you might have felt like this was going to lean towards a real estate show or whatever it was. No, this show is 100% different with every guest. And what I tried to do with this is bring them the best experience possible. And this is a experience at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And what's cool about it is that, we can have like a fun conversation and, explore like, different like paths and everything like that. And, still like kind of like benefit everyone. And,
right.
And we always like learning from other people, which is, one of the reasons why you're doing this and why I'm doing this as well, is like we love to learn from either, different listeners or different speakers. I know we listen to podcasts all the time, so it's always cool to learn and digest everyone else's like perspective on different topics,
100%. And what I'm really focusing on bringing here with Youngblood podcast is do as the locals do was always kind of the theme of the show, because what I do is I bring people that I know, that I've met, and just made an impact on me in some way. And the reason for that is if they've made an impact on me, maybe they can make an impact on somebody else. Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I started what I do here and started this show, and I've kept it going, is not because I want to be a podcaster, not because I want the clout, not because I want views, none of that. The 50 conversations now that I've had with people, almost all of them were somebody that I was friends with, that I knew or had just met, but had an impression of them before the show.
Mm-hmm.
The impression that I get from them after they leave here is always better and different. And that's because me and you now, we've known each other 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've never actually sat down and just chatted for a couple hours or an hour,
Right. Yeah.
And that to me is irreplaceable. You can't put a price on what I've done here. Like, cool, we're going to get content out of this. Cool, people might watch, might listen. But simple fact of the matter is there's somebody in my circle that I thought I knew that I now know better and I have a better connection with. And I'm bringing genuine conversations to people that they might not have been able to be a part of themselves.
Or had before.
Exactly.
Or like, yeah. No, and that's what I think, like, what you're doing is awesome. Like, I was so excited when you, like, first told me about it. And I think, your setup and the way you do your dialogue, you're going to get fire with this and everything. So I'm super happy to be excited about it. And I know I just absolutely slapped the mic right there.
Okay. It's okay. You won't hear it after. It's okay, man. Man, this has been a freaking blast. And I'll tell you what, guys, here at the Young Blood Podcast, there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of new upgrades that I personally am learning how to use, learning how to utilize. Everything at this show is done by me, myself, and I. I used to have some help on it back in the past, but now it's just me, guys. So really, I appreciate every single person who's either listened, who's came on the show, pressed the like button, any of those things, commented. It's all appreciated. It's all noticed, man. And, right now, the biggest thing that we're focusing on here is just bringing these genuine conversations to a platform that everybody can be a part of. And for that, thank you, Alex. Thank you for coming on. This is now episode 44 of Young Blood Podcast.
There we go.
We are six
There
away.
We go. Give it up.
Yeah, baby.
44.
We are 6 away from our 50th episode. I also do like to have repeat guests. It's one of the things. So anytime that you want to come on again, or if you're coming back into town, you want to catch a couple minutes on here, let me know. We'll make it happen.
We'll be back for more. I promise you.
And then also, guys, I know I hate to ask for help. I hate to ask for anything, but there is a Patreon.
Give a like.
Yes,
give
or give
subscribe.
$1, or give $1 on my Patreon, $1 a month. There is an option to do that. It helps us out a ton. If you go that route, if not, cool. So thank you guys so much for listening. This has been episode 43 of Youngblood Podcast. Alex, is there anything you want to leave the world before we close out tonight?
Give it your best. You only live once. And we're all going to get there if you just try hard enough. So let's go get it.
Let's go get it, baby. Hoocha.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Have a good one.